Hey there, it's Crafty Jennabug. Let's start working in the November journal, huh? In case you are new to my channel, I set myself a challenge for 2023 where I made a junk journal for each month and decorated it throughout the course of that month. And here we are in November, almost done with the year, and I can't believe it's almost over already. You can see how I made this journal in the previous video of the November 2023 playlist. I linked down below. And yeah, I want to get started on this. So, first things first, I want to work on the cover. I have this, it's part of a free printable offered by Artsy Fartsy Life. I can link her site below. And I really like this little guy on the cover, so let me cut him out. I got this all cut out, and my plan for it is I want to back it on this piece of tea-dyed cardstock so that there's a little frame, just a small one, just a little some pop of color behind. But before I do that, I want to rough up the edges a bit. So I'm just going to take my scissors. Now that that's a bit grungier, I'm going to take some walnut stain and grunge the edges. And then I'm going to take walnut stain Distress Oxide spray and use the nozzle to distress the edges just a bit more. Really let it soak in to those frayed edges. Now I need to figure out exactly how much of an edge I want to have. And the answer is not much. Now this can go on here. I'm going to adhere it with just a little bit of glue stick because I want to sew it. I'm going to sew around the edges of this and I'll be right back. Alright, I did 2 rows of a running stitch around the edges and I made it kind of wonky, crisscrossing over each other and the like. And there we have that. I want to distress the edges of the frame piece, the back piece, a bit. Cool. Now let's do the same thing that we did for the front piece. I'm going to dry that now. Alright, I have repurposed a prescription medication bottle for some acrylic paint mixed with water. In this bottle I use this Delta Ceramcoat Gleams in metallic copper. And I want to do some splatters on here. I'm going to take this little piece of scrap just to cover up his eye so I don't splatter his eye. That is how that looks. I'm going to let that dry naturally instead of hitting it with the heat gun because I don't want the acrylic paint to bubble. And in the meantime, while that dries, I have this little piece of scrap packing paper that I want to stamp November 2023 on, and I'm going to stick it behind the top right corner. But first, I want to grunge it up a bit. I'm using walnut stain again. I'm going to take these stamps. I did a little testing with my stamps. I want it to look like this. November and then 2023. So I'm going to use these stamps I found at the Dollar Tree. It's just a variety of different letters. And I will stamp them using this Ground Espresso permanent ink. And I will stamp them one letter at a time. Before I do that, let me get an idea for how much of this I want sticking out. That'll give me an idea of where to stamp. One letter at a time, or number. Let's do November first. And I'm going to start at the R and work my way backwards. Ooh, is that even noticeable? I should probably do it in black. Let's see what it looks like in black. Right over the same. Yeah, November in black. I have a few little pieces of cheesecloth I want to attempt to dye with some carved pumpkin. Some carved pumpkin and, oops, a little walnut stain. Got another piece I want to dye with some mowed lawn. And then I will muddy that up with some walnut stain like I did the orange. And now I need to dry them. This is how I've decided to arrange the cover. Got November 2023 sitting right here. I added 2 fabric leaves and this bit of funky like ribbon almost. And then I want the cheesecloth in the other corners. I think I just want it up here. All right, I think that is what I will do for the cover. So I just need to glue everything down and let it dry. To glue it down, I'm going to use some tacky glue. All right, my cover is dry. I love it. It is quite fall themed to me and I couldn't be happier. So let's get started working inside. I can't remember if I talked about the theme for this journal, but it's going to be gratitude. Thanksgiving in America occurs in November, and so that was the premise of the theme for this month's journal. So I have November on the front. I don't necessarily need November here again on this page, but I do want to do a little collage, and I have typed up and printed out gratitude, and I would like to put that here along with some other goodies. I have theartscavenger.com has quite a few of these mushroom collage sheets, and I'm gonna cut, I think I'll cut all 5 of them out. Or I know I want a large mushroom on this page, so I'm gonna cut out, I think I'll cut out the 3 biggest ones and try them out on this page. All right, I have the 3 big mushrooms cut out, and I think I like this one the most because of the way it curves in the same direction as the doily. This guy, and then this one, in conjunction with the gratitude, which I'm not just going to glue down like that. I think, yeah, I think this one is the one I like the most. So that's what we're going to use. These 2 can go in my box of things that are useful for this journal. Those are going to get put to the side. I'll probably use them later on in this journal. I want to make a frame around the gratitude. I have this piece of dark brown scrapbook paper, and I'm going to glue this to it, but before I do, I want to distress this a little bit. So I'm going to take some frayed burlap and color this, and then I'm going to glue it down on here like that, so that I have a nice space on either side. Do I want to round those corners? I think I do. Alright, I've got this little guy cut out. I really like that. I want some brads. Do I want the brads sticking out through the other side is the question. I don't think I do. So I am going to poke some holes. Alright, I just stuck the brads through the holes I poked and opened them on the opposite side, and I will just glue them down when I glue down this piece. I chose this because I want to do some copper splatters. Beautiful. Alright, let's get this copper. It's a mix of copper and water. Copper acrylic paint and water. So I dried it with the heat gun and after I did the splatters, and then I have glued down the gratitude sentiment with some of that cheesecloth I dyed from the front and some of the this brown ribbon stuff. So I used this and this, and I really like it. But now I gotta let it dry, pressed down. So I'm currently having one of those days where nothing I do goes right. I'm really struggling. It's one of those days. So I'm going to end this video here, simply because, one, I need to let this dry flat, with pressure on it, and I can't work in this journal anymore right now. Two, I can't get anything done right. This was the initial attempt at using the frayed burlap to grunge this up a little bit, and yeah, I had to print out another sheet. And yeah, I could sit here and list a few other ways, but you don't want to hear me complain. I'm sure of it. So I'm going to end this here. I know it's a very short video, but I've been very busy, and I think what I'm going to do is work in this journal a bit off camera, of course, once this is dry and when I'm having a better day, and come back. I'll film the really cool stuff, and then we'll do like we did for the September journal. It's almost halfway through November, and I am struggling to keep up already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you aren't incredibly disappointed by this short little video. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.